Chapter 1, Part 2, Getting Out of Denial and Preparing for Change. Alright friends, in the last episode we talked about how self-sabotage works, how it's our mind's way of trying to protect us, even when it ends up holding us back. Today we're finishing Chapter 1 of The Mountain Is You, and this part is where things get real. Because once you see your patterns, the next step is to stop pretending they're not there. This is the part where healing meets truth. Let's be honest, it's so easy to be in denial about where we are in life. We tell ourselves it's fine, or at least I'm trying, but deep down we know something feels off. Brianna Wiest says that the first real step to change is to get honest. Not cruel, not harsh, just honest. Maybe you know you could be doing better. Maybe you feel like you aren't being your authentic self. Maybe you feel there's something bigger you're meant to do, and you're tired of ignoring that voice. Here's the truth, you're probably right. We can't affirm our way out of denial. Sometimes we use positive quotes like band-aids, trying to convince ourselves we're happy when we're not. And it never sticks because our soul knows we're lying. Real self-love isn't just saying, I love myself. It's saying, I love myself too much to keep settling for this. So here's a little exercise. Take a piece of paper and write down everything that's not working. Be brutally specific. Finances, write the numbers. Body image, write the truth you've been avoiding. Anxiety, write what sets you off. It might hurt, but this isn't punishment, it's clarity. And clarity is power. Once it's on paper, you have two choices. You can make peace with what is, or you can commit to changing it. Staying in between is what keeps you stuck. The path begins where you are. Here's the thing, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to see the whole path. Maybe you're at rock bottom right now. Maybe you've failed 100 times and you're tired of trying. That's okay. Because rock bottom isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's that moment when you finally say, I never want to feel this way again. That's not just a thought, that's a declaration. A promise to yourself. And when you make that promise, everything changes. You stop blaming, you stop waiting for rescue. You start saying, no matter what it takes, I am not going back to that version of me. That's where the path really starts. Rock bottom happens when our coping mechanisms break. When we've numbed so long that the pain finally catches up. It's when you look around and realize the only common denominator in all this is me. That's not shame, that's power. Because if you're the problem, you can also be the solution. That breaking point moment. You know that moment when something inside you just snaps. You're done crying, done complaining, done pretending. Ioji Awasika, one of the writers Brianna quotes, said, "You must find the purest form of being fed up. Make it hurt." I literally screamed, I'm not going to live like this anymore. That moment, when pain turns into resolve, is when your life starts to shift. Humans are wired for comfort. We cling to what's familiar, even if it's slowly destroying us. So most people don't change until staying the same hurts more than changing. Think about it, we don't move because we see the light. We move because we feel the heat. So if you're at that point, if you're fed up with your own excuses, don't waste it. Use it. Let that anger be a fire that pushes you forward. Not anger at others, but anger that says, I deserve better and I'm finally ready to prove it. Preparing for radical change. Hear what nobody tells you about healing, it will change everything. A lot of people avoid doing the inner work because deep down they know. If they really heal, their whole life will shift. And that's terrifying. You might lose people. You might lose your comfort zone. You might lose who you thought you were. But that's the price of becoming someone new. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. Let me say that again because it's huge. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It'll cost you your comfort, your routine, your sense of direction. It might cost you some friends who liked the old you. It might cost you being understood by everyone around you. But you'll gain something so much better. Peace, purpose, self-respect. People who see you for who you really are becoming. Everything you lose was built for the person you're no longer meant to be. So if life feels like it's falling apart right now, maybe it's actually rearranging itself for the next chapter. Releasing your old life is the final act of self-sabotage you have to let go of. It's the moment you say, I don't need to go back, I was never meant to. Closing reflection and call to action. So before we end, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what truth have I been avoiding? What am I in denial about? What am I still holding on to that belongs to the old me? Write it down, speak it out loud, face it. Because that's where your freedom starts. This chapter ends with one powerful message. Change starts right where you are. Not when you have it all together, not when you feel ready, right now. So take that first step today.